Welcome to online classes, children. Today we will learn about division of decimals. So, division of decimals can be carried out in three different ways. The first one is division of a decimal number by a whole number. There are three steps to divide a decimal number by a whole number. The step number one is divide the decimal numbers just like division of whole numbers. Here I have taken one example where 8.4 is the dividend and 4 is the divisor. So let's divide 8.4 by 4. Here the first digit of the dividend is 8. So you have to think of a number which is when multiplied by 4 you get 8 or a number less than 8. So we know that 4 into 2 equals to 8. So write 2 in the quotient and 8 here. Then subtract 8 from 8, you will get 0. Then bring this 4 down. Then place the decimal point in the quotient directly above the decimal point as in the dividend. So place the decimal point in the quotient. Now do 4 ones are 4. Write 1 in the quotient and 4 here. Then subtract 4 from 4, you will get 0. Now the third step is, in the absence of a whole number in the dividend, place a 0 in the quotient before the decimal point. This step you will come to know further. So 0 is the remainder and 2.1 is the quotient. Now let's solve some questions from my practice time 7. Question number 1 is, find out the quotient for the following. A. 0.8 divided by 4. Let's recap the steps, children. Step number 1 is divide the decimal number just like division of whole numbers. Step number 2 is place the decimal point in the quotient directly above the decimal point as in the dividend. Step number 3 is, in the absence of a whole number in the dividend, place a 0 in the quotient before the decimal point. So this step you will see here. Here 0.8 is the dividend and 4 is the divisor. So in the absence of a whole number you have to put 0 in the quotient. So put a 0 in the quotient. Multiply this 4 by 0. 4 into 0 equals to 0. So write 0 here and subtract 0 from 0. You will get a 0. Now bring this 8 down and put the decimal in the quotient. Now 4 2s are 8. Put 2 in the quotient and 8 here. Then subtract 8 from 8, you will get a 0. So the quotient is 0.2. Now let's solve the second question. Second question is 12.6 divided by 9. Here 12.6 is the dividend and 9 is the divisor. So you have to think of a number that is when multiplied by 9 you get 12 or a number less than 12. So 9 ones are 9. Put 1 in the quotient and write 9 below 2. Then subtract 9 from 12. 9 cannot be subtracted from 2. So 2 will borrow 1 from this 1 and this 1 will become 0 and this 2 will become 12. Now subtract 9 from 12, you will get 3 here. Then bring this 6 down and put the decimal in the quotient. Now it becomes 36. Now 9 4s are 36, right? 4 in the quotient and 36 in the here. Then subtract 36 from 36, you will get 0. So the quotient is 1.4. Now the next question. Next question is 0.0021 divided by 7. So 0.0021 is the dividend here and 7 is the divisor. So let's divide. First do 7 into 0 equals to 0. Write 0 in the quotient and 0 here. Then subtract 0 from 0. Then bring this next 0 down. Then again place the decimal point in the quotient and do 7 zeros are 0. Write down 0 here, then subtract 0 from 0 and bring the next 0 down. Then again do 7 zeros are 0, write 0 in the quotient and 0 here, subtract 0 from 0, you will get 0. Then bring this 2 down. 2 is also not subtracted from, 2 is also not divided from 7 because 2 is smaller than 7. So again do 7 zeros are 0, write 0 here, then subtract 0 from 2, you will get 2. Now bring this 1 down, here it becomes 21. Now we know that 7 into 3 equals to 21, write 3 in the quotient and 21 here. Then subtract 21 from 21, you will get 0. So the quotient is 0.0003. Now the second one is division of a decimal number by another decimal number. So to divide a decimal number by another decimal number, you have to convert the divisor into a whole number. So to convert a divisor into a whole number, if there is one digit after the decimal point, you have to multiply it by 10. So here I have taken one example where 1.6 is divided by 0.8. So here in the divisor is 0.8, and in 0.8 you can see that there is one digit after the decimal point. So the divisor will be multiplied by 10. So multiply the numerator by the same corresponding number to retain the value. So we have to multiply the numerator also by 10. So multiply 1.6 also by 10. So when 1.6 is multiplied by 10, you get 16, and when 0.8 is multiplied by 10, you get 8. Now divide the decimal in the same way you did before. Now divide 16 by 8. We know that 8 into 2 equals to 16. Write 2 in the quotient and 16 here. Then subtract 16 from 16. You will get 0. So the quotient is 2. Now to convert the divisor into a whole number, if there is 2 digit after the decimal point, you have to multiply the numerator and denominator both by 100. So here I have taken one example where 1.6 is divided by 0.08. So there are 2 digits after the decimal point in the divisor. So you have to multiply it by 100, the numerator and denominator both. So multiply 0.08 by 100 and 1.6 also by 100. So when 1.6 is multiplied by 100, see the multiplication, children. First you have to multiply the 0 by 1.6. So when 0 is multiplied by 6, you get 0. When 0 is multiplied by 1, you get 0. Then put 1 0. Then again the next 0 will be multiplied by 1.6. So 0 into 6 equals to 0. Write 0 here. Then 0 into 1 equals to 0. Put the next 0. So now you have to put 2 zeros. Put 2 zeros. Then this 1 will be multiplied by 1.6. So when 1 is multiplied by 6, you get 6 here. When 1 is multiplied by 1, you get 1 here. Now add all these numbers. You will get 1600 here. Now put the decimal point after one digit from the right hand side. It becomes 160. So the numerator becomes 160. And when 0.08 is multiplied by 100, it becomes 8. Now divide the decimal in the same way you did before. Now divide 160 by 8. So we know 8 ones are 8, 8 2s are 16. Write 2 in the quotient and 16 here. Then subtract 16 from 16, you will get 0. Then bring this 0 down and do 8 zeros are 0. Write 0 in the quotient and 0 here. Then subtract 0 from 0, you will get 0. So the quotient is 20. Now to convert the divisor into a whole number, when there is 3 digits after the decimal point, you have to multiply the numerator and denominator both by 1000 and so on. So the numerator will also be multiplied by 1000. Here I have taken an example where 1.6 is divided by 0.008. Here 1.6 is the dividend and 0.008 is the divisor. The divisor is having 3 digits after the decimal point. So the divisor will be multiplied by 1000. And if the divisor will be multiplied by 1000, you have to multiply the numerator also by 1000. So 1.6 is also multiplied by 1000. When you multiply 1.6 by 1000, you get 1600, and when 0.008 is multiplied by 1000, you get 8. Now divide 1600 by 8. So 8 1 side, 8 2 is 16, right? 2 in the quotient and 16 here, then subtract 16 from 16, you will get 0. Now bring this 0 down, then 8 zeros are zeros, write 0 in the quotient and 0 here, subtract 0 from 0. Now bring this next 0 down, then 8 zeros are 0, write 0 in the quotient and 0 here, then subtract 0 from 0, you will get 0. So the quotient here is 200. Now let's solve some questions from my practice time 8. Question number 1 is divide the following. A, 2.12 divided by 5.3. Here in the divisor there is only one digit after the decimal point. So the numerator and denominator both will be multiplied by 10. So multiply 2.12 into 10 and 5.3 into 10. When 2.12 is multiplied by 10, you get 21.2, and when 5.3 is multiplied by 10, you get 53. Now divide 21.2 by 53. So 53 into 0 equals to 0. Then subtract 0 from 21, you will get 21. Now bring this 2 down and put the decimal after 0 in the quotient. Now 53 into 4 equals to 212. Write 4 in the quotient and 212 here. Then subtract 212 from 212, you will get 0. So the quotient is 0.4. Now let's solve another question with question number B, 0.004 divided by 0.2. Here in the divisor you are having only one digit after the decimal. So you have to multiply the numerator and denominator both by 10. So multiply 0.004 by 10 and 0.2 also by 10. When 0.004 is multiplied by 10, you will get 0.04, and when 0.2 is multiplied by 10, you will get 2. Now divide 0.04 by 2. 2 zeros are 0, write 0 here, then subtract 0 from 0. Now bring this next 0 down and put the decimal in the quotient. Now 2 zeros are 0 again, then subtract 0 from 0, you will get 0. Now bring this 4 down. Now 2 2s are 4, write 2 in the quotient and 4 here, then subtract 4 from 4, you will get 0. So the quotient is 0.02. Now the third one is division of a decimal number by 10, 100 or 1000. When we divide a decimal number by 10, it moves the decimal point one place to the left in the answer. For example, here 15.73 is divided by 10. So the decimal point will shift only one place to the left. So the answer will become 1.573. The next one is when a decimal number is divided by 100, it moves the decimal point 2 places to the left in the answer. See here the example, 15.73 is divided by 100. So the decimal point will shift 2 places. So the answer will become 0.1573. The next is when a decimal number is divided by 1000, it moves the decimal point 3 places to the left in the answer. So see here the example, 15.73 is divided by 1000. 15.73 is divided by 1000, so the decimal point will shift 3 places because it is divided by 1000. So the answer will become 0.01573. Now let's solve some questions from my practice time 9. Question number 1 is divide the following. A. 601.43 divided by 10. So the decimal point will shift only one place. So the answer will become 60.143. Now see the next question. 16.111 divided by 100. Here the divisor is 100. So the decimal point will shift 2 places to the left in the answer. So the answer will become 0.16111. Children, you have to solve all these questions in your notebook and post it on class notebook in MS Teams. And this home assignment also you have to complete it in your notebook and submit. Thank you.